Hey, the 46 Dodge, you guys have been watching it a while. We're doing a lot of changes. The owner wants to change it up a little bit. Let's just call the previous stance the rat rod stance, just because, you know, everybody's kind of familiar with that. You know, the 54 Ford F100 is a street rod, and you know Gus, the 46 Chevy, is kind of that patina look. So the owner wants to do, if anybody knows who Ricky Boda is, he's built a 32, might even be a 30 Ford, and it's got big wide tires on it. It's actually got a Honda motor in it. So he's keeping the 383, don't worry about that. But we've changed up to a Holly carb, blow-through blower style carb, 950 CFMs I believe, and a shotgun bill intake on here. He wants to autocross the car, so this engine, this carburetor is going to be a little more manageable for autocrossing. The wider tires are going to make it handle really good. I'm taking out the Vega box, which had an extreme angle of the drag link, and I'm going to put in a rack and pinion and get the drag link in its proper parallel to the tie rod ends. We've done a 204R reverse manual valve body transmission with a flash stall. So this thing's going to scream, and it will have overdrive. Because we're in Florida, we're going to do AC. So to keep the look of the motor, you know, that bare bones look and that big blower sitting up there, I'm mounting the AC compressor really low on the block. So it actually replaces where the fuel pump bolts on, and it hangs below the oil pan, and it runs off the crank pulley itself. It's adjustable, but it keeps everything neat from the side. I've got Resto Mod AC going in. Really impressed with their product. The AC vents are super awesome. It almost feels like a bearing when you adjust the diffusers. All their product looks really nice. Comes with black fittings for the AC lines and everything. So really impressed with that product. So we'll watch how that installs. We've already got the unit mounted right here inside the cab, right here. We're doing electric wipers. So we had to fabricate some escutcheons to go up here so it puts the angle of the wiper in the proper way. These will be electric. It's kind of a worm drive. The owner wants Dakota Digital Dash. So we're doing a Dakota Digital Dash so he can keep up with all the stats of the motor. It'll give him attack, speedo, everything. We're putting some Corbeau seats. Not sure how we say that. Corbeau seats. In it, they were too tall. They actually came really high as a headrest. So we chopped that down so it fits inside the cab. With it so high, the lean of the seat moved the seat shelf forward, the bottom of the seat forward, where you couldn't get your feet inside the door of the cab. So we cut the back of the seat. This way it goes back into the pocket, just like the original seats that were in the truck, which, by the way, those were CJ seats, CJ Jeep seats. So we wanted something that gave him a little more bolster, because again, remember, he's autocrossing. So we're putting a 3-point harness. We've talked about a 4-point or a 5-point, but right now we're going to start with a 3-point and see how that works with him. And if he needs to go to the other, then we'll add a roll cage in the back so I can actually have an attachment point for a 5-point harness. But right now we're going to do a 3-point in there. We've got the seats with the bolstering. We pulled the rear end off and we welded up some brackets that were, you know, just a little, the welds weren't fully penetrated, so we welded up some brackets on the rear end and then painted the rear end, so it's going back in today. A lot of interiors happen. I'm going to put a center console in. New carpet's going to go in. New headliner. New parts. So stay tuned to this. We're going to do some HID headlights. Remember, we did LED in my Galaxy. We're going to do some HID in this one. The tires are probably going to be that wide when we get them on there. I think the back are 335 30s. So yeah, stay tuned. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome build. We're going to call this a race rod. So here's the 8.8 Ford rear end, pausing. Some of these brackets that were in the front up here that held the ladder bars on, they were kind of stitch welded, weren't real good penetration. So we went over those welds. and then I painted everything black, so looks really good. It's going to go back in the truck here. There's some work happening under the bed of the truck, some grinding, so we'll do a little paint underneath there, and then this will go back in with its buggy spring and coil springs. Really nice setup too. So it's adjustable, and it gives it some good track, so there's not really a track bar because you use a buggy spring as a track bar. So really good setup. So here's the Corbeau seats. We took off, I don't know, I want to say that seat was probably that much taller. It kind of come out and then came back up and came to a point, come out, come down. So we chopped the seat down so that it fits inside the bulkhead of inside the cab. Before, this part of the seat, because it's so high, and to get comfortable, you have to adjust the seat, right, to get comfortable. Well, that hit the back of the cab, which left this negative space behind the seat. Pushed this seat shelf so far forward, you couldn't put your feet past the door jamb. By taking this down like this, it actually goes under the bulkhead. There's less negative space behind the seat, and now I've got room to get in. And the seat's a really comfortable seat with these extra bolstering. So this will really be great for his auto crossing.
Alright, here we got the seats for the 46 Dodge. They've been cut down quite a bit, shortened, modified. It gives it a lot better seating position. I can reach the gas pedal and the brake pedal a lot better than what it was. I was sitting probably 6 inches forward from where I'm sitting at now. So it feels a lot better.
So for the race rod, the 46 Dodge, we've got boom mat that's going to go in under the carpet. We'll put this on the headliner, the toe board. This is a really great product. We bought the bigger box. So this box right here weighs about 70 pounds. This stuff is so thick. It insulates the interior. It's got its own adhesive, so it sticks to the floor. You roll it in with a nice little roller. Great product. Used it in most of my cars that we're doing here. I advise people to buy boom mat. Great product. Hey, so this is going on the 46 Dodge as well. These are Michelin pilots. The front are 275 30 20 35. 275 35 20. The back are 335 30 20. So it's going to have a good wide stance for auto crossing. So this is going to make a really, really nice addition to that truck. It's really going to give it a very aggressive look. Think of like an Indy car, you know, with the open wheel. So it's going to have these wide tires. It's going to have this low stance. So it's going to be really, really, I think it's going to be very aggressive. My race rod. So Resto Mod Air. This is the first car we put it in. I am really impressed with the packaging that this comes with. You can see the nice little red box. These are the vents, and you remember how I was saying they're like a ball bearing. They're so precision made. See, the diffuser moves around very smooth. I like the rivets around. This is Sinister Black, by the way. These are the controls. They'll be lit. There's like a little light around the side of them that's blue. Very elegant looking controls. They'll blend right in with this nice race rod. This is also how a product came. It came in this nice bag. And this is the bulkhead where the AC lines will go through. So really nice product. And I hope I'm holding it right. Yeah, race rod, or look at that Resto Mod right there. So really nice product. Very impressed with it. Good pieces of product. Well presentation. Really like it.